All right. Welcome to another episode of CheesTake. So, and the crew, we just give our opinions. Let me put a little disclaimer out there. Everything that you hear from us is strictly our opinion. It is not reflective of StreamYard or any other social media platform. This is strictly us giving y'all our opinion on stuff. We are not licensed psychologists, psychiatrists, or financial advisors, and none of that stuff. We just speak facts. This is not about having educational degrees. We got life degrees. We don't live degrees of life. So, that's where we got our credentials from. So we just want to kind of put that out there, a little disclaimer before we actually get started. It's just this has been kind of a crazy ride, you know what I mean? And I definitely want to first and foremost always thank God. He is everything. I thank him for waking me up this morning. If you woke up and you able to, you got breath and you got, you got a good health or some form of good health, man, you're doing great. You know what I mean? And so we don't want to take that for granted ever in life. And so we definitely want to give God all the glory, all the thanks, all the honor, all the praise for everything he's done in my life. I can't even imagine. I know what it is to be outside the will of God for my life. When I'm out here wilding out back in the day, but I don't know what it is not to have God in my life. So I don't know what that is. Then definitely want to thank my amazing, beautiful wife. She's the executive producer of this show. She really the engine of gold. She put all these little flyers. She does the intro to the music and all this stuff, man. I can't begin to tell you guys how amazing it is to have that kind of support. There's a lot of people who married to somebody and they don't have that support, man. They don't have somebody that's gonna rock with them. You know what I'm saying? They really don't. A lot of people don't understand what it is when it comes to marriage and supporting somebody. They say it, they talk it, they don't really understand the game of life when it comes to real partnership, real companions. So I definitely want to thank my amazing wife, man. She always hop on here with me. So if you don't see her on there, she in the background, she doing things in the background. So she always there. You know what I mean? That's my better half, So, I love my queen and thank you so much, babe, for always rocking with me. There's stories behind that, y'all. She been there from day one, A1 from day one, for real. And so my man Chris, knowing him, for years. But my brother from another mother, always rocking. How we met is crazy. You have a team of friends, man. And I don't really have a lot of friends. I have brothers, if that makes sense. I have people that I'm connected to that it's more than, I don't have like no best friend. And it's I got brothers, people I call that's connected to me, spiritual connections to this stuff. So, always rocking, the ones who could show up on the show, we appreciate, I really appreciate all my brothers, man. They got a lot going on, other stuff, so they don't always get a chance to jump on here. But I always put them on there. Damon, Datrian, Kyle, Nate, Keto, all the different guests. Mika, she comes on as well. Hadassah, Coach Hadassah, Jay. You know what I'm saying? That's so everybody, I don't want to forget anybody, but those like, that's the crew. That's my peoples, man. They always support me. And so we're gonna do another session with all of them coming up soon. When we get on here, we get kind of crazy, so I got to get the right topic, and then we'll get on here and do what we do. We're gonna rock it. All right. So
perverse.
That'll be a good topic.
That's crazy topic right there.
Nonsense.
That's some crazy stuff out here. There's some stuff going on in the world right now, man. So definitely. Our thoughts and prayers go out to everybody in Israel, man. What's going on over there? All that stuff, and a lot of stuff out there. Everything going on. Everybody who out there in the news that's wilding out. I don't know, Remy Ma, Pop Hoops. My brother out there, he getting cheated on, but he hold your head up, bro. That's all I got.
We don't really know.
We don't really know, but what we do know is. Y'all not together, and right. little dirty laundry out the bag. So so
Lord of mercy.
So that's if occurring events. I guess I don't know. But I will play the video. Y'all know how we get down. It's Thoughtful Tuesdays, Thirsty Thursdays.
Oh Lord.
We're gonna do what we do. We're not gonna be here
Let's
too
talk about it Tuesday.
talk about it too. So my wife gonna put a good spin on it. Not throwback.
Triumphant Tuesday.
No, she got,
Oh Lord,
the big. There was the big college words right there.
What?
She went to school.
I did.
She went to school with them words.
She went Wu-Tang Clan on it.
Oh, Wu.
So it doesn't change. Ain't nothing changed but the weather. So I'm gonna go ahead and play a clip on here. But it's amazing how just in life, man, we take things for granted. And I think it's one of those things. I see people right now fighting the recession. I know that they say we will go into recession, but a lot of people now are hold on to their wallets real tight. We're not spending nothing. We're trying to be good, and that's good. I don't really knock that. But I'll play this one video clip, man. It's very interesting because this is the time where people can get a lot of opportunities, right? A lot of people want to switch their jobs, or you've lost a job, or you're trying to figure out some things right now, or you're trying to figure out what to do. You're in that space, right? I had a good friend of mine hit me up, man. He works in HR, and they about to lay off like a bunch of people. He hates that part of the job. So, there's a lot that's going on right now. So if you got a job and you're making some money out here, be grateful right now, because a lot of people who don't have it. So I definitely want to throw that out there. But I'm going to play the video, but it's something that was said in here. I'm going to start it off. We're going to play a couple clips, and we're going to talk about it like we always do. Okay. Excuse me. So let me go ahead and share screen. And here's the thing. Don't nobody know what the videos be like. I'm up there honest opinions. So all right. So let me play this first one here. Hold on a second here.
Yeah, I can tell he talking noise already. He talking mad trash.
Just from looking at him.
Hold on, y'all. Let me stop sharing.
Oh yeah, he definitely talking noise.
Oh Lord, babe.
I hit the wrong thing, though.
I
hit the wrong thing.
What?
No, nothing crazy. I just hit the wrong thing on my IG message. Hold on, I'll pull it back up. All right, bet. So let me go ahead and. Oh, there we go. Mm-hmm. What the heck?
Mm-hmm. Toe up Tuesdays.
Hold on, man.
There's another one.
That's what not.
And another
Hold
one.
on, man.
Today, Tuesday.
Hey, man, this was not supposed to be like this. Hold on. I had that video lined up. I done played it like 3 times.
Look at God. He don't want you to play that mess.
I know, right? He was like,
for real.
What you wanted to talk about again? What exactly?
You know what? I'm gonna play another clip.
Okay.
I'll play another clip here that
Try again Tuesday.
Try again Tuesday.
That's it.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Try again Tuesday.
Go ahead, my
this
boy.
This is very interesting. I got
first, you don't succeed.
So
off and try again.
You can dust it off and try again.
I'm fooling with y'all. I'm sitting here trying to get the video going.
Hey man, we're gonna start letting the producer do it. You tripping?
Hey, I can do 2 things at once.
Tripping Tuesday.
Okay. That was a good
one. Don't encourage Chris. All right, here we go.
The door open. God. Can you speak a little bit to some of the times where maybe the door is open, but we are not leaning back to the Lord to ensure that the open door is actually from the Father? Can we talk about that a little bit?
I'm glad you brought it up. Satan opened 3 doors for Jesus.
Woo!
In Matthew chapter number 4.
Mm-hmm.
Satan opened the door for Jesus' appetite.
Whoa.
Satan opened the door for Jesus' pride. And Satan opened the door for Jesus to choose his own position. So every open door ain't from God. I play dominoes. There's a saying in dominoes that all money ain't good money. Just because you can score doesn't mean you should. And so even when a door is open, the question I always ask is this a door I'm supposed to step through? I've had a lot of ministry invitations over the years that seem like, wow, this would be amazing. It's a great platform calling me to this. But even though they knock on the door, I still have to ask God, is this a door that I'm supposed to open? And is this a door I'm supposed to walk through? Just because the door opens doesn't mean it's God. It just means it's an opportunity. And every opportunity isn't God's calling.
Many people.
All right. So I like that one right there. I like that
I
one
agree
right
with
there.
that. I agree with that.
You know what I'm saying? And we'll talk about that a little bit because, like, I feel like this is a season right now, like I was just saying, where a lot of people feel like they got to make some kind of a move, right? I mean, just myself personally, I had a great friend of mine just tell me about a good business venture. Just matter of fact, not too long ago, tonight actually, and we're talking about it. And the first thing Christy and I were talking about is like, hey, we need to pray about it, right? Is this really God, right? Is this an opportunity? Because what he's saying is right. A lot of times, every door that opens up for you is not of God. Right? The devil does open up doors. And when you hear what he's talking about, let me draw a reference to it. In the scriptures, the devil tempted Jesus, right? He said, if you I'll give you the whole world if you bow down and worship me, right? That was a temptation. Now, it's not really a temptation because God, he's the creator of all that stuff, you know what I'm saying? But there are situations that we face in life with people where they'll make you feel like, okay, if you take this opportunity over here because it might be more money or it might be a new opening or something different, that people just jump. And then a lot of times you jump and it's not the opportunity you think it is, right? And then we can correlate that to relationships, right? There's a lot of things now in this society now, people that jump in from relationships now where you have something that's stable and you have somebody that grinding and rocking with you, but all of a sudden now you just think the grass greener over here. And even though you know that statement, the grass ain't really greener, what they doing now is in society, they painting the grass green. So it's brown under there, but they painting the green. So you putting water and all kind of stuff to it, it's still turning green. And you thinking, oh, I got the best thing in the world. It's just been painted on, right? It's a portrait. It's not even real. And so I think it's important that we talk about that because a lot of times I feel as if that we use God when it's convenient for us to jump in opportunities, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? It's like a lot of times we make moves and then we be like, okay, God, yes, God opened his door for me. God, you made this happen for me. And he really didn't open that door for you, right? You already showed up at the house, right? You was already at the front door. So you already at the front door. And before you knock on the door, you want to pray, right? And be like, Lord, is this my opportunity right here? Well, what is God going to tell you? You already at the front door for that opportunity. So you're just trying to, now you're trying to get some grace and be like, okay, oh, it's unlocked. Well, thank you, Lord. The door's unlocked. I'm walking in. Praise the Lord. This opportunity mine, right? And so I just feel like what he's saying is true. And I think like right now, a lot of people are looking for other things and they're looking for more money and they're looking for opportunities now with the inflation being the way it is, with a lot of things going on in society the way it is right now. We live in a microwave society, right? Everything is the newest thing. They got a new iPhone coming out. What iPhone are we on? Like 15, 19? I can't even tell you what iPhone it is right now.
I ain't getting that stupid thing.
Yeah, we on Ultra. I'm on but the thing about it is so crazy. There are people who will literally get the iPhone 14 and then a year later you want to get the 15. And the year next is going to be the 16, right? And there are people who just go year after year trying to do that.
They're only getting it for the filters. That's it.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that you pay all this money for that phone. better camera, right?
You paying to keep up to date with something that's the
That's it.
same.
It's the same.
It's the
Right.
same
I mean, they
thing.
have some features. They add a couple of features to it, but that's a couple of
If
things
you
you can
don't,
download, upgrade.
if you do not, and we're gonna use this term, what I'm about to say. If you do not tap into all of those features, it's worth nothing. The same
Exactly.
as if you
Unless
don't
you're a
tap
techie.
into every, and it's same thing is if you don't tap into everything
Every
God
upgrade.
has, everything that God has put in you, if you don't tap into every bit of it, what's it for?
Mm.
What's it
Mm.
for? What makes it different? Because it put
Right,
another number on
exactly.
it. What makes it different? You ain't tapped in. You're
Mm.
not tapped in. And what that gentleman is talking about, and I'm gonna call him a gentleman, even though those glasses look crazy. That gentleman is talking about is correct. Every door that is open, I don't want to say it's not of God, because I mean the devil can't do anything to you that God does not allow. So,
Right.
but
But also,
every opportunity that comes to you
Mm-hmm.
might not be the thing that God has for you,
Mm-hmm.
if we can say it like that. Because
right.
every
I get
opportunity that come up, just like they always say, all money ain't good money,
right.
right?
Right. And he brought up a
So,
good thing in Domino's too. So
He did. He did.
right. So if you are walking into a situation that you did not pray about in the beginning in the first place,
Mm-hmm.
you walk into that situation because everything looks so good, but you are not involving God in it in any way.
Mm.
If it goes left on you, was it supposed to go left from the jump start?
Mm-hmm.
Or did you
right.
have an opportunity to make everything go right just by involving God with it? You know what I
And,
mean? So go ahead.
well, the thing is, and I think this is where I feel like a lot of people, I'm guilty myself of this too, at times where the patience part, like, am I missing God because I don't hear anything from God, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is it that he's not responding when I need an answer now, right? And that's what
Right.
people start to don't understand. If God's not giving you an answer right now, you have to be patient. That opportunity may not be the one for you, right?
Right.
But what we
Uh-huh.
do is we jump and we figure, okay, I ain't hear nothing from God. I'm gonna just go and jump, and then we call it faith, right? We call it
Mm.
faith when we jump, make that jump. You know, we
Right.
live by faith and not by sight. You know what I mean?
That
And,
that
and
leap
we
of faith thing. Yeah.
right,
Mm-hmm.
the leap of faith. And then when it
Mm-hmm.
don't work out, right, now we blaming God. And I've seen
Right.
people in society do it all the time. You know, there are people in society right now that I watch all the time. I watch it on these Instagrams and social media outlets that blame God for everything. Right? They're
Mm-hmm.
always blaming God when something go wrong. But here's the
Mm-hmm.
crazy part. Do you talk to God before it goes wrong? Right?
Right.
Everybody is God's creation. Everybody ain't God's children. And I think that needs to be clarified. Everybody's God's creation. Everybody ain't
Mm-hmm.
God's children. And what I mean by that is I can clarify that for people who didn't understand what that means. If you go to the furniture store and you buy that chair, you buy that table, or you buy that couch, well, guess what? The furniture store created it. That's the
Mm-hmm.
creation, right? But when
Mm-hmm.
you go and put it in your house, right? Right? You now are responsible for that couch or that table or that chair. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So even though that they created it, right? You are now in possession of
Mm-hmm.
that thing. That belongs
How
to you. So
you
even
how you
right,
use it. Yeah.
how you use it
Mm-hmm.
on you. So you can't go back. You can't mess up the furniture and then want to blame the furniture company and say, well, you the one that created this thing. Well, wait
Yeah.
a minute. What
Mm-hmm.
did you do? They give warnings on that. You can't be jumping on the couch, tearing it up,
Mm-hmm.
acting
Right.
crazy, and then somebody get hurt. Well, it's the same thing with
Right.
God, right? You can't go live your life non-Christian and want to have
Right.
God's grace
Right.
in your decision. You know what I'm saying?
We're living in the days of the microwave stage of everything.
Oh
Right.
yeah, everything has to be
If
quick.
it has to be
Right.
quick.
We don't
Now,
wait for
before,
God.
like you was talking about the social media and all that kind of stuff. Before all of that, man, you didn't really know how someone struggled. You didn't know how long that person struggled. All you
Right.
saw was the end result. I was just watching a podcast today that had Fred Hammond on it. Fred Hammond and Kev on Stage, where Kev on Stage was interviewing Fred Hammond.
Mm.
And if anyone that's out there that knows Fred Hammond, you know how much of a how he writes, he produces, and
Right.
everything
Right.
as far as his gift.
He's a gospel
But
artist. Hmm.
right, so but a lot of people don't know is how he got started. He got started trying to be a bass player for the Winans, another gospel group who were very, very big in Detroit. He got turned down multiple times.
Mm.
Pastor Marvin Winans say, yeah. I mean, he can try. Tell him to call me at 11 o'clock tomorrow. He called him at 10:59 the next day. Hey, yeah, this is Fred. I'm trying to, I want to try, for audition for the bass player. Yeah, I ain't really thinking about that right now, man. Call me back tomorrow at 11 o'clock. Like,
Call
okay, well,
again.
dang. Called again the next day. Hey, yeah, hey, man, I ain't really thinking, man. I got a lot of stuff going on. Call me back tomorrow, man. 11 o'clock. He said, man, I kept on doing this, man. I'm trying, I'm being persistent. He said, the next time I called him, he's like, man, what do you want? He's like, yeah, I was calling about trying to be the best. Nah, man, we're going a different direction, man. I'm gonna stick with who I got. He's like,
Mm.
dang. Now he could have gave up, right?
Yeah,
Right.
He could have gave up,
could
but
have.
what he ended up doing was another opportunity came up. The other opportunity was they were creating Winans Part 2, which was ended up being BB and CC and some other people that were forming another group, another form of the Winans.
Oh.
They heard that Fred got turned down for their brother's group and say, hey, come play for us. They ended up
There he is.
in the same house. They were basically battling each other. The
Mm.
two groups were
Mm.
battling each other.
Wow.
And Fred was over there killing it on the bass and he could sing. So he was sitting there going back and forth with them. And Marvin, the one who turned him down, like, boy, you think you slick, don't you? You think you slick. Well, see if you can play this one. He started playing a song and Fred jumped on it just like that.
Mm.
He said, man, we got to have a meeting. We got to have a meeting. So what ended up
Meet and
happening,
greet.
he
He was
ended up
like, okay,
taking
get the
Fred.
truth.
He took
The
Fred
truth.
from them and put him on tour with them. And
Nice.
from
Wow.
that right there, him just being persistent, what you said, one door closed,
Mm-hmm.
What?
one door closed, another door open. He walked through that door and ended up being in the same room where he wanted to be in the first place.
Right.
I,
So
I
not
like
only
that.
the persistent, but what he was doing the whole time. Not only did he pray, he told his people. So his mother, family, fasting, praying,
Mm-hmm.
agreeing on the same thing that he was trying to get in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
He thought he was defeated and he didn't get exactly what he wanted, but he ended up walking into the same room with the same
But
man that turned him down and started his career.
you know what? And I'm gonna go
That's a
ahead and
beautiful
piggyback on
story.
that. It's a
That's a
great story.
beautiful story.
I'm gonna actually add to that
Hmm.
because a lot of people who might be listening to this,
Mm-hmm.
what if God told you to go there? Right? God told you to
Right.
go to that position. God told you to take that job. God told you to be at that location. Right? And then it
Hmm.
don't work out.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like
Yeah.
with Fred, like
Yeah.
you got turned down, or you start that job and you got all kind of issues going on. Let me give
Yeah.
you a little story about somebody that we know that God could take you from all the way from the bottom to the top, just like that. And it's biblical, right?
Mm-hmm.
Joseph went from the prison to the palace in one day. One day.
Mm-hmm.
That's biblical. One of my favorite characters, David. David went from tending sheep to killing Goliath and went straight to the kingdom. What? Because
Right.
the prize for him, he had to go for the king. He got to marry the king's daughter.
Right.
Mhm.
I'm telling you. So
Humble
the
beginnings.
reason,
Humble beginnings.
but the thing
Mhm.
about it was when these doors are not necessarily closing. It's when God sends you here. If you're in the location, you don't know how the anointing will move for you. You don't know how God's grace will work some things out for you. Because, like you just said, when that wine and turned him down, the others was like, "Oh, you're the one." But they would have never known him if he didn't first show up or call every
Right.
day
Right.
or do
Right.
that
Right.
part. And I'm gonna
Right.
give you somebody who did that. One of my favorite stories always telling in this is Jennifer Hudson. And if you don't know the story of Jennifer Hudson,
Mhm.
Jennifer Hudson was an American Idol. I forgot
Yep.
what year it is. It
Mhm.
was her and Fantasia was the last two contestants to win American Idol. You win American
Fantasia won.
Idol, you got the contract, it sets you up, you're supposed to be nice.
Mhm.
Now watch this. You're right, babe. Fantasia won.
Mhm.
Everybody was
Mhm.
outraged because Jennifer was a better singer than Fantasia. Fantasia was a better
Fantasia was a better
performer.
performer. Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
She was better showmanship. She put on a better show than Jennifer at that time.
Right.
Jennifer Hudson, for y'all don't know, after that, couldn't find a job. She knows she's supposed to be singing. So she
Mhm.
went on a cruise line, got a job on a cruise line singing. The producer, one of the producers of that movie with Beyonce in it, what is it called? The
Dream
girls.
Girls.
Dream
Dream
Girls.
Girls.
Yeah.
One of the producers of Dream Girls says on the cruise, here's her singing and says,
Mhm.
"Hey, I may have an opportunity for you." Now, granted, she was like, "Look, I'm over here on a cruise ship. What you talking about?" And she was like, "Well, the producer's like, if you want to come try an audition for this, it's an opportunity here." She went and auditioned for it. Okay. Jennifer Hudson auditioned for it, got a part in the movie. That movie was not designed for Jennifer Hudson to have any starring role like that. It was Jamie Foxx and Beyonce. Those were the two
Right.
main characters of Dreamgirls.
Right.
Jennifer Hudson had one. She was co-starring in it, so she had a little bit of a role dealing with Jamie Foxx in the movie. But she had that one part. She sang one part of a 2-hour movie or an hour and a half movie. One part. And I can't tell you the song, but she blew that one part out of the water when she sang. So much so that one part got her that year. She won an Emmy.
Mm-hmm.
She won an Emmy that year for that one song. She won an Oscar for Best Supporting Actress on that movie. She won a Golden Globe Award, and she won, what is that one when the one they sing, Grammy. She won a Grammy. She won every major award in the industry in 1 year.
Right.
From one part in a movie. It wasn't even the whole movie. The whole movie was not even Jennifer Hudson. It was Beyonce and Jamie Foxx. She was co-starring in the movie. Because she never gave up singing, which is her calling, she was in the right place at the right time. So even though American Idol didn't work out, do you know how many people would have went back to waitressing at a job, going back to telemarketing, customer service? You know what I'm saying? How many people get defeated and they go right back? They go back to something that has nothing to do with their calling, right?
Yeah.
Even Fred Hammond could have gone and said, "Man, you know what, man? I ain't going to do this." You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So people, this reason why we're talking about this is because people right now, if you're going through this right now and the recession is hitting you, we are in a recession, whether they want to say it or not, because interest rates are ridiculous. Everything, it costs too much money. People are still
Everything does.
losing their jobs. So if you're in the middle of trying to figure out some things in life, it might be best to sit still for a second.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
You want to hear something else that's crazy about that the story I was telling is
What?
that he had almost gave up. Him and his friend were actually going to go join the army, but instead of joining the army, something told them to join the reserves. So they wasn't going to actually be in full time.
You're so stupid.
You know what I'm saying? They wasn't actually going to be in full time. So he was able to actually go through.
Hold on, let me get him up.
He was actually able to go through basic training and then ended up on tour. You know what I mean? So it's different opportunities, different things come up, and you end up making the right choices because you prayed about the whole situation. So that boy say I got my I have a drive-through voice.
He better not. He better not. No, that's not your calling.
Oh man.
You're too smart for that.
Right.
You
used to drive through if you own the establishment. But the whole thing about it is the whole thing about what we're talking about, like you're saying, is it's the simple fact, like Chris, like you're saying, is that when you're in when God is doing something for you, God never promised you the next step. He never does, right?
He doesn't.
The whole Bible is written about people who are ordinary people that God used to do extraordinary things.
Always.
Right.
That's the whole Bible. And the reason why God did that, if you realize, is that majority of people that end up being big and having things or doing certain things, if you look at their background, their story, they didn't come from money. You know what I'm saying? They don't have.
And look at what you said
all the
before.
stuff.
Look at what you said before. Even Jesus, you said Jesus himself, all 12 of those apostles.
Right.
He didn't go get priests.
Right. That's true.
He didn't go get people like deacons or whoever was in the church.
Nah, you know why? And the reason why he didn't go and get all of those, because he needed the ones that he needed. He needed the people that he needed.
Right.
He needed the fishermen.
He
was trying to show them and show people, man, all of these different titles y'all got, this stuff don't mean anything without me, without God. This stuff don't mean anything. And it's always a thing of God using the lowliest of the lows. He using people that people count out. Noah was a drunk.
People read.
Noah was a drunk. You know what I mean?
But that goes to people that we know now.
Right. God qualifies the unqualified. That's right, Alexis.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
People do that now, right? some of the
All
best
the time.
advice you will get. Some of the best
That's
advice
that I like.
Right. Some of the best things you ever had in life. Let me ask you a question. Some of the best times I've ever had in my entire life came from when I had no money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not because it wasn't, it doesn't mean that I couldn't use money, but it was just I had to improvise. Some of the best people in life are not people who are perfect, but are people who are flawed, people who have gone through experiences, people who have flaws, people who they're people who are real because they've been through real things in life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they may not, and I think that's another thing too in society now. We just, we chase this stuff, but you got to have a bag. You got to have all these accolades for me to listen to you, for me to do something with you. That some people are losing, they're being discredited because they don't have things. And don't even realize that substance is not in the things that you have. Substance in the things that you prevent from having. Do you understand that a lot of people don't have certain things because it could open up certain doors? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Some people didn't buy a luxury car not because they couldn't afford it. Right? They
Right.
choose that. They didn't buy a
Right.
luxury car because they can't afford it. They didn't buy a
Right.
luxury car because they don't need it. They don't want to. They don't. And you know what they rather do with that luxury money? That instead of buying that car, they go on vacations. They invest it. They set up their future. They put it in other places. But you don't
Right.
know that. You think because they're not walking around certain ways. The wealthiest people in the world, they don't wear that stuff. I heard a rapper say that
And
about
they're the most
Jay-Z.
generous too. They're very
They're the
generous.
most generous. The thing is, and this is something that we all understand, and I guarantee the people that's watching, well, if they don't
Yes,
understand,
Roxanne.
they will learn. The thing is, man, when are you going to live a life that shows? Regardless of all of this different
There it
things,
is.
you can put on all this different, all these
Right.
jewels, all this mess. If you don't have, if you're not living a life that shows God,
Mm-hmm.
what are you doing? Because it's not worth it. In the end, it's not going to be worth it. If you're not living your life and people seeing God through you,
Mm.
then what is it? What is it? I don't care what door you walk through.
Right.
I don't care what door you walk through. If you're not showing everything that God has already done for you, if that
Mm-hmm.
thing is not being shouted out and saying these different things, what is it for? I had
Mm-hmm.
opportunity. I had a time, man. Me and my wife had just bought a home. November of '08. Just got our home.
Okay.
I lost my job March '09.
Mm.
Mm,
I didn't get another job until March 2010.
a year.
Never asked anyone for money.
Mm-hmm.
Never
Mm,
got anything cut off. Still survive, bro. Still
None but God.
survive.
None but
That's
God.
God.
but that's
Mm.
biblical.
That's
I've never
God.
seen a righteous forsaken nor his seed begging bread. That's biblical.
That's right.
Exactly.
That's,
That's
And
God,
right.
God will never let you. I'm telling you.
and with that, me being agitated, upset, I never lost sight
Right,
of what
right,
I was going through and who I was going through with. Because it
right.
was nothing but God.
Exactly.
Every morning I'm still waking up praising him. I'm still waking up thanking him,
Mm-hmm.
regardless of my
Every
situation.
every time.
Regardless of my
Now,
situation.
right, and is are a lot of people doing that right now? Right? Is it that we're so
No,
busy asking
man.
God a lot of times? I feel like a lot of times we always asking God for a lot of things, right? God, give me this, Lord. I need your grace. I need your love. I need your mercy. I need things, right?
I
But
need it
are
now.
you?
That's what a lot of
And I
people
need it
saying. I
now,
need it
right?
now.
And so the thing about it is, number one, you already have it, right? And
Mm-hmm.
everything you ask God for, He's already built inside of you. The
Right.
problem is that
You ain't
the
tapped in.
world has made you feel that you can't tap into that, right? Because
Right.
you feel like you're living up to these expectations. There are people right now that's not
Mm-hmm.
even living in their fullest life because they feel they too old, or they feel it's
Yeah.
past a certain stage, or they haven't done certain things in their life. Like, do you understand that time is abstract? That's what it
Right.
is. Time is abstract.
Right.
It's you putting barriers on your life. You
Mm-hmm.
know, you could be
Yeah.
30, 40, 50, 20, no matter what age you are in your life. If you understand the concept of I'm called to do this, I'm supposed to be here, I'm supposed to do this, and even
Hmm.
though it don't work out in that arena, it don't mean that the door is completely closed for you. But
No.
also, you have
No.
to understand, is it something that you want to do because you're gifted and you're called to do it, or you want to do that because you see somebody else that's gifted and called in it? A lot
Well,
of
here's
Right.
people
the
see other
thing.
people.
I
That's
think
a very good point.
that's
That's a
true.
very
Yeah,
good point.
I
a
think
lot of people, man.
a lot of people do want to be the best version of themselves, right?
Hmm.
Right.
But they don't know how
Who
to become
or
that.
who or who they
Or-
are.
Right.
Right. They're still
Ooh.
learning themselves.
They don't know who
But
they
do they
are.
know
They're still
themselves,
learning
right? Who
themselves.
am
They
I?
don't. But
Right.
how do
A
you
lot
get
of
to
time.
how do you
A
learn
lot.
about yourself?
Yeah. A lot of time you spend a lot of time trying to figure that out. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And
But you
your
know who
ability
you
is
are.
your ability is your ability. A
Right.
lot of times you don't know if your ability is a thing that is that who I am, or is it
Yes.
something I haven't tapped into yet? Is it something else that's in me that just not have come to the surface yet? It's there's a thing of my brother-in-law uses this thing with his kids. His kids had planted some seeds, and they planted them in the ground. And one of his kids, the it is already started coming through the surface. It was showing. It was already sprouting real good. The other one didn't. So his child, she got upset about it, and she wanted to dig it up. He's like, I'm gonna let you go ahead and do it. She dug it up, and under the surface, it was already sprouting. It just hadn't reached the surface yet. It
That's
was too
growth, right?
low.
That's
Right,
growth.
but
It's growing under there,
she had
right?
planted it so deep that it
Mm.
just didn't show
I go
yet.
there, bruh.
Right.
It's still
It's
underneath
still
the
growing.
surface.
It's
You
still
have no
developing.
idea. You still developing. You don't know
Nobody
when
knows how
it's
you
gonna
doing
come
it,
through.
Right.
right?
Exactly. But
You coming through,
patience in that whole thing, you would have saw that, man, look, this is deeper, it's
Right.
stronger
right?
because it had further to fight. The fight was
Mhm.
different. So the
Right.
journey is different. Yeah,
Right.
man. You gonna that whatever you're looking at over there, it's yours. You can have it. You might not get it the
And
same route that somebody else gets it,
but
but
you
That
it's
don't need
drought.
to,
yours.
right? But here's the thing right there, right, Chris? You're saying, see, I think a lot of people need to understand some things in life. It's okay.
Let's say.
It's I think we need to sit back and be like, it's okay. It's
Yeah.
okay in life. If you
Mhm.
are, there's some people that if you know you a husband material, right?
Mhm.
You ain't got to go do what your homeboys doing. You ain't got to chase these females out here. You ain't got to wild out. You ain't got to do all that crazy stuff. Because you know deep down in your heart, man, I'm the kind of dude that I'm okay with having one great relationship with
Yeah.
one woman and have an amazing time. Females,
Qua-
same thing. It's okay to
Quality over
be
quantity.
quantity. It's okay to say, you know what? I'm
I
not that
like
kind of
that.
female. You know what I'm
Quality
saying? Yeah,
Right.
it's
over
okay, but
quantity.
it's okay. But you have to understand there's a lot of pressure in society that feels like you got to go out here
Right.
You got
and date,
a
and you got to go
certain
out here
way.
and do a lot of these things in life.
Right.
With jobs,
You know.
anything that you love to do. It's do you understand if you are you could be a garbage man and you're not proud of that career or "Oh, man, I want to do something else. Do you understand how many people in a business need somebody that works in the sanitation department? Do you know how much millions of dollars you can make if
Mhm.
you decide
Man.
to take that and do your own business? But you be too caught up in everybody. I'll tell you right now, a lot of people, some of the most brokest people that you will meet with are white collar people. Some of the
Mhm.
hardest working and a lot of people that got money are blue collar workers. I'm serious. You will never know that though, because you feel like if you dress a certain way, you look a certain. Some of the brokest people look like that, and they
Mhm.
work and they work because they want to climb a corporate ladder that's not even designed for them to climb. Let me help you out. If you listen to this, let me help you out. To be honest with you, no matter how hard you work at your job, you will never climb that corporate ladder. You will
Mhm.
never climb that ladder because there are certain people, there's certain paths to do that. If you understand how business works, there are certain job titles, there are just certain paths to the CEO that are assigned to certain people. That's why
Mhm.
they change titles of jobs because they're going to. This title is going to take you from a director to an executive to senior executive to. That's how it's designed. So if you work your life to get to a director, guess what? They'll never take you to the next senior level because you ain't the one they want to do that. You know what they'll do? To bring somebody else in. They'll bring
Depends
somebody
on
else
the
Yeah.
in
job,
who
though.
has a senior.
Depends on the
No,
job.
even if it doesn't matter what the job is. If you're designed to be the CEO of that company, you would be there after 15 years. You would be there after 20 years.
Mhm.
Have
That's
somebody
most
come in the
jobs.
company.
I'll say that's most jobs.
That's
But
that's
what God
most
has for
jobs.
you, He has for you. You
But
either
that's it. That's my point, baby. What God has for you, and it may not be at that job,
and they
and it
can't
may be
right.
somewhere. Right?
It,
You're
it could
designed
be
to be
somewhere
an
else.
executive, but how many
Mhm.
Yeah.
times people don't move? People don't move the way they're supposed to move because we don't want to start over. We don't move. We're
Right.
supposed to move because it's of fear, right? You're counting your bills. You're looking at your check every month. You're trying to figure out, if I leave, am I going to get a better job? If I leave, am I going to be in a worse situation? There are people who will stay. Luther Vandross sang a song. He said, "I'd rather have bad times with you than good times with somebody else." That's a song.
Right.
You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Like, he said, "I'd rather have bad times with you because why? I don't want to start over again. I don't want to date again. I don't want to be with nobody else." But we do that with every element in life. And so when God is trying to get you to move somewhere, God is trying to get you to go somewhere, right? Cindy Crawford, one of the most successful runway models, was on her way to the dermatologist to get that little mole removed on her mouth. She got a little mole right up here.
Right.
Yeah, that
It's a
pops out a
trademark.
little bit.
She had a little
yeah.
mole.
That's a
And she was
trademark.
on her way
Yeah.
to the dermatologist's office to get it removed. And I cast it, and one of the model agents, she was just talking to them. And they were like, "Don't get that removed. You can be a model." And she's like, "No, that ain't for me. I'm about to get this removed." And they're like, "Let's go ahead and I promise you could be a model." She ended up
Beauty
being one of the most
mark.
successful models ever. You know what I'm saying? Charlize Theron was in a bank. I'm telling you a true story. Y'all can Google this
Why are you
stuff.
talking about?
Yeah.
She was in a bank
Adding
trying to pay her
to-
rent. Trying to pay her rent in a line. Telling her she going off on the teller. Cash my check. She had no money. She's trying to cash her check to pay rent. And a casting director is in line. And she acted a plump fool to the teller. When she leaving, the dude was like, "Hey, can you act like that in the movie?" She was like, "Are you paying?" She was like, "Are you gonna pay me?" She was like, "Well, I'll go ahead and do that." What's the rest? Now she a Hollywood star. My point is, you got to be at the divine location that God tell you to be in. And 9 out of 10 times, it's not going to work out for you that way because God just wants you to show up somewhere. And a lot of times, people don't just like to show up. He going to do the rest. Just show up.
He wants you to follow instructions.
Just show up. You ain't got to do that yet. Just show
Follow
up.
instructions.
A lot of people
but
don't
part of
hear
that
God.
is
Follow instructions. Yeah.
the instruction is showing up. Go.
Right. It could be
Go.
simple. Something that's
Hey, go. If you don't
you want a new car.
it's not. It might not be good.
right.
You know. Hey,
You might miss
Joe.
something.
Joe, I need you to go over there.
That's
I don't want to go over there. Bro. Oh, okay. Let me this big old fish. You know, man.
Are you talking about Jonah?
Yeah, Jonah. I'm sorry. Yeah,
Yeah.
Jonah. Yeah, go get this big old fish. Yeah, get this fool out this water.
Lord have mercy.
Is it true?
You know what I'm saying?
The fish. I'll get this fish to take you where I want you to go.
And what ended up happening, he had to change
Okay.
the heart. You know, I'm down there. It stink down
After
there.
all that.
God, yeah, I go where you want me to go.
But here's the thing. When he delivered that message, he was still mad at God.
He's still mad at God.
What you mad because you chose that door.
Right.
You chose it. You chose it.
Jonah
God didn't choose it for you.
Jonah did not want to do it because Jonah didn't like the people. Whatever message he was going to deliver, Jonah was mad at God because Jonah's like, "Lord, why you want me to deliver to them? Do you know what they do? Do you know what kind of people they are? Why you want me to deliver that message? No, I'm good. No, miss me with that." And that's why he was mad.
He had to deliver.
Lowest of the low.
There's a reason for that.
All you had to do was go. All you had to do was go.
That's the problem, right? All you got to do is show up, man.
I look at situations, man, because it's something you said that brought something to my mind. You was talking about it as far as the garbage man.
Mm-hmm.
And I ain't trying to get real deep or whatever, but
they make good money.
God been putting this on my heart, and so I shared this with some of my fans on here before. My father got a job at my high school
as a
janitor. Right. He got that job basically to make sure I was good, right?
Okay.
But I was pissed at the fact that my dad is a janitor at my high school. I'm looking at it in a negative way. I'm looking at it in a negative way the whole time. So The whole time he was there, the way that he worked, the way that he did things, everything he did it in a way of representing God the whole time.
That's good.
The whole time. Because he wasn't just a janitor. My father was a pastor.
Wow.
He came there. People changed.
Mm-hmm.
Their outlook changed. Not only the kids that he dealt with, because kids would spend a bunch of time just talking to him. These kids I didn't even know.
Wow.
He touched lives. It was to the point to where I can remember this like yesterday, bro. I'm on the basketball court and he had to sweep the floor in between halves. So I'm in the middle of a game and he's standing on the wall with his broom. But standing next to him, you had the principal, the assistant principal, athletic director, and then my father standing there with the broom. The superintendent came in. And this is all during the game. I'm sitting, I'm on the court, but I'm peeping everything. Superintendent came in, walked past the principal,
Mm.
the assistant principal, the athletic director, and went straight up to my dad. Hey, how you doing, Mr. Fisher? And I'm like, I'm watching this. I'm like, boy, that was cold in the bug, man. The old man just did it. But what it showed me was the lowest of the lows can still get the most respect.
They saw God
Uh,
in him. They saw God.
That's
exactly,
it.
because he
That's it.
never stopped representing God. He never stopped to this
Say that
day.
again.
I mean, the
Stop.
day he
He
never
never
stopped
stopped representing
to the
God.
day he died, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to speak at his funeral, and I said something about him being a janitor, and I didn't really get to get everything out because it kind of got sidetracked. Because he also, he spoke to me about love all the time, and I wanted to make sure I shared that.
Mm-hmm.
But that was 2017. That had been in my spirit all this time, man. It just, I was like, man, what is this janitor thing? It would come in, it would, jump in, and then I couldn't figure it out until one day, me and my wife, we were doing a fast, and for some reason, man, she kept talking. She was talking about the certain things. I was like, you know what, man, let me look this thing up, and I looked it up, and what I came up with was janitors are the stewards of places created and owned by God.
Nice.
So
Hey,
Ah,
I like that.
everywhere he
powerful.
was,
That's
I don't care
powerful.
what job he had, what he was doing, he always made sure he represented that place and took care of that place or that thing as if it was owned by God
Well, it's
completely.
biblical, right? The Bible says,
It's
aren't we
biblical.
supposed to be a good
Mhm.
steward? Good
There you
stewards,
go.
right?
Right.
And
Right? Good
it
stewards.
also has it down as a gatekeeper.
There it
A
Oh.
is.
gatekeeper, someone that opened doors.
I'll do you
I
one
mean,
better.
he was a leader.
Watch this. Watch
So
this. Picture a school, an establishment, any
mhm,
building, any
mhm.
facility, anywhere in the world that don't have somebody who has
They opened the door.
janitorial skills.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Imagine what that place would look like.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
That part.
Imagine
Exactly.
not having that. Because see, a
Exactly.
lot of times when you see things like that, we don't think about this. And I saw this post one time, and I say it again. There's a lot of times, man, we always thank God for the things that we have, right? We always thank
Mhm.
God for the things that, oh Lord, the things you haven't, but Lord, I just thank you. But we don't always thank God for? We don't always thank God for the things that didn't happen in your life, the
Right.
opportunities that
Yeah,
didn't happen for you, because you don't
right.
know what was
Things
attached to
that
that.
God
You
You
blocked.
don't
don't
know what
know
was attached
the
to it.
things that got
Right.
blocked. We don't thank God for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, them the things you need to thank God for every day. You know how many people leave home and never return home, go to work and
Right.
never come back? Thank
Right.
God for the fact that you made it back home. Right? You
Yeah.
complaining because I understand the light bill due, the bills driving you crazy, the kids driving you crazy, the people in your life, you know, your spouse and all this other stuff, or your
Right.
boyfriend, girlfriend, it don't matter. You made it home. You many
Yeah.
people didn't make it home? Do you
Yeah.
understand that if you when do you understand after you bury somebody? Do you understand something that when somebody dies, that their clothes are still in the closet? Do you
Yeah.
understand that somebody got to take their
Yeah.
clothes
Yeah.
that they used to wear and see that person in that every day?
Right.
You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying,
I
man?
d-
Like them are the things that you don't even think about.
you don't think about it, man. And also what we don't think, I'm glad you said that. Also, what we don't think about is the young man was just talking about that young man was talking about as far as the doors that are open.
Mm-hmm.
Man, did you praise God for that door that was shut?
There it is.
That part.
Did you praise God for that? Did you tell him thank
Yep.
you for that? Because did you
Go a little
ask
deeper,
him to
Chris.
did you ask him to shut that door?
Mm.
How
Hey
about that
God, you know what?
relationship?
If this thing ain't
This
for
ain't for
me,
me.
if this thing ain't for me, shut
Yep.
that door.
What
Shut
about that
that door.
relationship? That person you
Yep.
fell in
Same
love
thing.
with.
Same
Come
thing.
on now.
Same
That
Yes.
thing.
relationship that didn't work out. Or you sitting there
Same
like,
thing.
God, you know, you hurting and you didn't realize it
Yeah,
didn't work out for you because that person never had your best interest. Do you know how many people
man.
are living in graves right now because their spouse killed them?
Mm.
Yeah, yeah,
Do you know
But
how many people
yeah,
sitting
they
in
had gut
jail?
feelings though. Those
yeah.
There are
gut
people
feelings.
sitting in prison and in a burial plot because somebody, and they wish God had intervened.
Right.
Wish God had broken that relationship up. Wish they had
And
gotten away from that. You know what I'm saying?
sometimes you need to make sure you need to really understand that them ain't butterflies. Them ain't
Right.
butterflies
Right.
in your gut.
It's
Nah,
never lied to you. Your
you
gut
know
has
why
never lied
you
to you.
can't sleep because God is trying to deal with you and tell you something is not for you. But
Mhm.
your flesh is the
Yeah.
thing that's keeping you in that
Logic.
situation.
Logic is what the number one mistake is logic.
Come on.
Because you talk yourself into it.
Yeah.
Logic. People talk themselves right into stuff that they know it ain't good. If you find
Because
yourself
it
you got
feels
to,
good.
And
right, you got to,
or they comfortable. They too
they're
comfortable.
They're
comfortable, but they talk
comfortable.
themselves,
Yeah.
well, maybe, you know, that person, if you, well, you know, ain't nobody perfect. Well, you know, I mean, look, you ain't, look, everybody got
Ain't,
issues,
ain't
you
nobody
know,
perfect, but he
everybody,
perfect for me.
right. You see what I'm saying? I'd rather have bad times with you than good
Nobody's
times with
perfect,
somebody else,
honey.
like Luther said.
That's goofy.
But
Man.
it's real. There are people who do that. There are people who will
Man, look,
stay in crazy situations, and just
hey,
because it's convenient for them, they don't want to start
the
over.
the
That's
greatest
sad.
prayer I ever prayed in my life
What's that?
was for God. I can't do this no more. I can't deal with this no more.
Mm,
You bring her to me. I'm not
there
looking
it
no more.
is.
You bring her to me.
Wow.
I got
And
that. I know what you're talking about.
I ended up on her doorstep. Didn't know her. Ended up
Wow.
on her doorstep. She opened the door. How you doing? I'm Raquel. I said, how you doing? I'm Chris.
And
Right
how
There
long
it
there.
y'all
is.
been married now?
It's been
Yeah.
23 years.
23
23
years.
years.
I
I'm
love it.
telling you,
23
this stuff
years.
worked.
I
It,
love
It
it.
it
worked.
worked.
And
I'm
still in
telling
love with
y'all,
it.
It
you
worked.
can
But
manifest.
it
It
works
takes work.
when you do what God needed you to do.
But you got to
Right.
step back. You got to
Everybody
allow
ain't
God.
gonna do it. Everybody ain't gonna do it. That situation, yeah, I had to give up something. I had to give
Well,
up
But you
you
know
something.
what?
become one flesh, right? You're supposed to become
No,
one.
yeah, you're supposed to become one, but
You
at
gotta
that
take
time I
care of
was by myself.
it.
So
But I think people misinterpret that Bible, right?
I had to give up on something. You know what? You know
Right.
what? I was doing wrong. I was out here in, I was in them
Having them
streets.
friends with benefits,
I was doing
running the
wrong.
streets.
And I had to say, you know what, God, nah,
But you had to make a
yeah,
decision.
I'm not doing this. I can't do it no more. Obviously this I'm being led astray. So
Right. But you can't. But see,
I
that's what
can't do
people
this
do
no
in
more.
life, right? You
But you
can't
made a
so
decision, though. You made a decision.
Yes,
you
yes.
made a decision.
I made a decision, and I made something with God because I said I'm not going to do anything. I'm not
Right.
having sex. I'm not doing anything. I'm done.
You
And
have to change your behavior.
yes,
You cannot sow
Right.
apples and reap oranges. It
Right.
don't work
there you
like
go.
that. You know what I
Right.
mean? You
Absolutely.
can't say I want to be married, but you still want to sit here and have these friends calling your phone, have these backup
Right.
plans,
Right.
friendly
Yeah.
benefits,
Yeah.
and then you try to play it off. Well, we just friends, and you know good and well
Yeah.
that person is attracted to you. You
Yeah.
know
Mhm.
good and well that can lead into something. And 9 out of 10 times you probably already fooled around with that person, or you know
Man.
you want to fool around with that person. You just ain't really did it yet, or haven't gotten the opportunity, or the opportunity haven't presented
Yeah.
itself yet.
Yes.
But you say
Yes.
all these different things, but you believe in God for marriage, right? You believe in
Right.
God to bless you with finances, a new car, but you don't know how to manage money the right way. You're not
Right.
disciplined enough to say, you know what? I don't need this right here. I don't need the $200 pair of shoes, these $300 pair of this, there's $100 pair of that. I could take
Yep.
that money and show I'm a good steward and just be patient. Half the stuff that you want finna be on sale anyway. If you're
Yeah.
patient enough, you'll get it at half price. But no,
Exactly.
discipline. I'm speaking from personal experience with this. This ain't something I'm telling about, right? My wife can vouch for this. I'm telling you, I used to be real horrible with that. I
Yeah.
mean, I've gotten a lot better in my life. Look at her face. You'll quit playing. Hey, when you do that stuff,
Ha ha.
you know what I'm saying? I have gotten way better. I can tell you, I can attest to that
Yes.
because
Yeah.
I've gotten way better with that. There's still things I like to buy and
He was
everything, but
terrible.
I have the money to do that now where I can do things a
Man.
little differently. But there are
That's
times when I was just like, I wasn't disciplined, but I wanted God to bless me with this. I wasn't disciplined, but I want God to do
right.
this for me. You
Right.
God is not gonna bless
Right.
you with stuff. You'll mess your own life up.
You
You'll
got to
mess
learn
your
it
own
now.
life up.
You got to
If
learn
you
it
don't do
now.
it with a little, you gonna do the same
You're
thing
gonna
with a
do a
lot.
lot.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
What did you
People,
say? Money enhances character.
it does. Who am I? Like we were just talking about that earlier, right?
Uh-huh.
Most people, I'll be honest with you, man. Most people know who they are.
So you mean I'm
They
gonna be
just
more cheap?
don't. No, so
You might. You just
you
might.
might, but
Here's the thing.
most
You
people.
may not spend money on something that you be like, I don't see a need for it. Whereas somebody is like, oh, I want this gold-plated car or something like that. And you're looking at it like, why?
Gold plated car ain't gonna do
Right.
nothing but attract more attention to me. I
Attention,
ain't trying to.
but
I don't.
Exactly.
it's
I don't need it.
right. But
I'm a great person at trying to remain not seen, other than on this podcast. That's about it.
Right, right.
you
I'm not a person. I don't look
You're
at.
not flashy.
Nah, I'm not
right,
flashy, man.
but
I never
you don't
have
need to
been.
be. But you don't in society
Nah.
today. You don't need. You better not be
That's right,
flashy. There
Omar.
are people that will take your life for
Yeah.
that car or for that house that you. There are people who are jealous of you just because of things that you have. You have to be. You have to be mindful of this stuff. So
Yeah.
it's not that you can't be. You know what I'm saying? Be who you
It's
are.
like it's like you were saying earlier, man. When you're trying to be rich and then wealthy is different. You know,
It is.
Another
when
level,
you trying to be rich, you trying to show everybody that you rich.
right?
Mhm.
When you are wealthy, you ain't got to show nobody.
I
Matter of
get
I
it.
fact,
don't.
but it's a difference, right?
I know a
People
guy
who are rich, right?
back in the day, and this is, oh Lord, I was in my 20s and I was a security officer in Georgia.
Hey,
And
now come on, now we security. Yeah, we did that.
yeah,
Yeah, okay.
look,
All
I wore
right.
the outfit. People thought I was stripping. I was like, no. I'm like, nah, not that kind of. I'm a real security
Oh,
guard.
A
Now
real
go
maid
work.
outfit.
yeah.
And that wasn't a made up. So, long story short, this one guy that kept walking in, and he would always say hello to the security officers. He would always just walk past, speak,
Right.
get to
Right.
know us, right? Know us by
Mhm.
name. So he's saying hi by name, and saw him in a magazine one day. Just looking at him because we get magazines in the front, and it says something about him making millions off of. I'm like, hold on,
Yeah.
wait a minute. He drives a truck that needs
Yeah.
a paint job.
Yeah.
Okay, driving
Yeah.
a truck that needs a paint job. Always walk in, comes to work, and go handle his business. But he was working
Mhm.
for what is it? JP Morgan.
Yeah. See?
So
Finance guy.
right, he was a finance guy and he knew his stuff. But I said, I said, come here one day I said, this is you. And he said, yes. And I said, you're one of the nicest people that I know that come into this building, and you'll never know that you make this amount of money. And when you gonna get a paint job on your truck?
No need to. No need to. But that's the wealthy people, right? Like wealthy
He was
people.
like you said, they like to travel. He takes care of
Right.
his family. He takes
Right.
care of his kids and his wife.
My money, whatever money I do, is none of your business. I ain't got.
Rich
I
people,
don't
but
have
that's
to.
true
But
though. Rich
I don't have to
people
be
encourages
gotta
people
flash.
to learn. He encouraged people to
Yeah.
learn a
Rich
skill
people like to
set,
flash,
get education, move yourself up.
But here's the deal.
Yeah.
In society today, the problem is that is being glorified, right? To go out on
Right.
social media to show
Right.
everybody that you got it good, you got the bag, chase the
Right.
money, chase a lifestyle, right? Do all the
One
things you're
on
supposed
the
to do,
the one
right?
on the
And
phone.
it's all about, it's nothing about
That's-
substance, right? But it's
Yeah.
one of those things where that's what society pushes, right? So now you have people who don't even seek out things of substance. They don't understand that wealthy people spend their whole life not to be acknowledged. That's why when
Right.
you ever watch TV or some stuff and they said, well, an anonymous buyer or somebody who was
Yeah.
anonymous
right.
Yeah.
bought this thing
He's
or have this.
anonymous.
You know why? He's anonymous for a reason, because he don't want you seeing what he had. Right?
Yeah.
People who have
Mhm.
wealth, people who got real money, right? There are levels to money. You know what I'm saying? Let's be honest with you. There are levels to money. Unless you royalty, like Dubai is another level. Okay, that's royalty
Right.
money. Right?
Exactly,
But
Omar. Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Right. But if you live in today's society, the normal person, like an average person who's wealthy, you won't even know it, because most wealthy people don't wear a bunch of jewelry. They
No.
probably, a lot of them don't even wear a lot of suits no more. They only wear shirt and tie. A lot of them. It's because they want to blend in with the everyday people. They don't even want you to think they got money. Rich people want you to know. They want you to.
Right.
I saw this rapper eat a hot dog that cost $100,000.
No
Just-
freaking way.
I
Just
think was
'cause.
it Offset? I think was it him?
Nah, it was
I
Two
don't quote me
Chainz.
wrong. Quavo. It's one of them dudes.
It was
I
2
think
Chainz.
it wasn't 2 Chainz. It was a dude just recently. I think it was one of them. Offset or
What was
Quavo.
on the hot dog? That
Some
was what-
gold thing. It was gold. Something was on
Yes.
this hot dog. Something was on this food that was gold or something. $100,000. Food. Like I saw a
stupid.
football player.
You know
A
how
soccer
stupid.
player. But
how many people
That's
eat that dog
stupid
on
because
eat?
you know that gold got to come out.
yeah,
Right.
right out where everything else come out. You know what I
It
mean?
got to come out.
That part.
At the
You know
same
what I
body
mean?
part.
So it's going down a drain, literally.
Right.
Stupid.
So there are people. So that's where we are in life, y'all. And like I said, the clip that we played earlier, it's about understanding every door to open up for you.
He's trying to
May not be from God. You got to make sure you follow your gut. That's your spirit inside of you telling you. Your body's never lied to you, right? Your body itself has never lied to you. You put something in your body and it don't agree with your body, two things gonna happen. You either gonna throw it up or it's gonna come out the other part. There's no other way. It's gonna come out two ways, one of two ways. Your body itself.
You gonna have
for everybody just to
Everybody.
understand this.
your body tells you stuff.
You want to know where God is directing you?
Follow that gut.
Go find Him.
Go find God. Seek
find
first.
God.
Seek first.
Seek
ye
ye
first
first
the
the
kingdom.
kingdom of God.
And
And
all,
righteousness. Righteousness.
not some, but all things. I'm telling you, and it's hard to get out of your own way. I'll be honest with you. Okay, we say that, but it's hard to get out of your own way because you're so accustomed to that. That's why you were raised that way. Society's told you what you need to do. Go get yours. Don't let anybody stop you. Grind it. Go get the bag. If you don't work hard, you ain't gonna get it. You have all these motivational, speakers out here and the life telling you go do all these different things. But unless you following the path that God has sent you
Go ahead, Chris. That's catchy.
you know what I'm saying? Unless you're going on that path,
Sorry.
then guess what, y'all? You're not gonna get what God has for you. On that note, Chris, we getting ready to wrap this up, y'all, because it's getting late. We're gonna be back on Thursday. I'll probably get the crew to jump on Thursday. I'll call out some of the crew members to jump on Thursday, and we're gonna talk about some other stuff. But y'all, thank y'all again for joining the podcast. Wherever you tune in, don't forget to subscribe to the channels. And we're gonna be listen on CheesTake, man. It's not just my take; it's my family here who rock with me, and we just gonna keep it 1,000 with you. You know, we don't have no filters on this stuff. We're not PC with stuff. We talk about religion, God, money, whatever it is, and we don't filter it through. And we're not finna go ahead and do all that stuff. You know what I'm saying?
And we ain't arguing with nobody. We ain't arguing with nobody.
You know what I'm saying?
This is an open forum. This is an open conversation. I'm not going to argue with you. I believe what I believe. If you don't believe it.
Don't believe it, then seek your own. But this way, we finna get it. We're going to do it God's way, man. We're going to do it the way. I don't know no other way. I don't know how to tell you no other way. But that's what we're doing.
Got something for you. Keto got something for you.
Keto done put something.
I gotta get Jay on here, man. That's my brother on
here.
Here.
Hold on, read that, babe. Read that.
He said, here's a story that Chee can testify. A friend of mine, I will call him TP. He was a corporate executive. His investments alone net him $100,000. He took me to a high-end men's store. He was wearing jeans and some sandals. Ain't that something? Yeah, I'm telling you, man. It's just that's how they do it. Wealthy people. So when I try to do things, Jesus was wealthy in everything he did. Look how he carried himself, right? Wealth is not. Wealth is indicative of your value and your worth in substance. And and if you're true to that, God will bless you with all the money. When you understand that who you are, and you don't got to worry about people and try to please other people and try to do other things, money will come because you're in your element. You know what I'm saying? And when you're in your element, things will open up for you. So
if you look at my background back there that Miss Christie did, you see that door down there?
I see the door.
That's a wonderful door, ain't it?
It surely is.
Look at me.
That's a door. That's a door a lot of people just need to choose. God is on the other side. All you gotta do is go.
There it is. Walk to the door. Get to the door. I don't care if you gotta walk, crawl, let the woman issue your blood. If you got the tiptoe, take an Uber. At this point, you ain't gotta drive.
Get to it. Open it up.
Door dashing.
Get to it. Oh, open that bad boy up. Accept him in, so you can get that crown.
There it is. So, man, we got to get out of here, man. We love y'all.
We need to get Keto on one like this.
Yeah, I got to get him on. I'm going to talk to him, man. I got some other stuff, too. I'm going to bring him on. I got to bring on the man himself. And we getting ready to rock out of here, y'all. We love y'all. Thank y'all so much for tuning into the podcast, man. Y'all been such a blessing and inspiration for taking time out of your busy schedule to listen to all of us. We love y'all. We thank you. God bless y'all. And we'll be back on Thursday. All right. Take care, y'all. God bless.